Hello friends, it's Sherry. How you doing today? Welcome to my channel and thank you so much for joining me. I hope everyone's having a great day. I'm just here with a fun little flip through of this journal and I'll try to make it quick so this video is not too long for you. But happy Friday, happy New Year's Eve, and let's just get started. So this was originally, I made this on a video and I was kind of just having fun with envelopes. So this is made out of two envelopes that I, kind of attached the flaps inside to each other and then reinforced it with some washi, which is glued down. And then I added book pages for the cover here. And I did add these butterflies recently. When I picked it up again and decided to make it into a journal instead of an ephemera holder, I had a couple little butterflies down here. There's a green one and a little kind of brownish one. It has a postmark on it, just punched out of random papers with my paper punch. And I had a little flower, like a fabric flower, and a little, this is a little coffee dyed flower with a pearl on it. So super cute little cover. And here's the back cover with the tree book page. And I've got an eyelet here with this little closure that just wraps around, and you kind of just put it back here out of your way when you get ready to open the journal. And so it is, let me see, it's like a number 10 envelope, which is actually about 4 inches wide, and it is 9 1/4 inches tall. So kind of like a tall traveler's notebook. It's just a super fun size because it's an envelope. And so it was made with coffee dyed envelopes too. That's one reason I was playing around with envelopes, because I coffee dyed. I just kind of ended up with a bunch of accumulated envelopes, and I thought I have too many envelopes. Let me do something with them, and I coffee dyed them all. So we start off, of course, with a pocket because it is an envelope. And in here, I have a journaling tag that I made out of a flashcard, and super cute, just with some pieces and mushrooms. And this is a wine label. I added some tickets for the tag. Those are vintage tickets, and I'll have a little mushroom back here, fussy cut mushrooms. And those mushrooms are from books, a book I have on, I think, what is it called? Nature in America, or American Nature, or something like that. And yeah, and so it was a thrifted book, of course. So this first page is a coffee dyed Astrobrites paper, which I, coffee dyed a bunch of that last fall and used some of it, the oranges and the yellows and things like that in my Halloween journals, my October dailies, and they made for some customers. And so here I just have on here another mushroom, fussy cut from that book. And then this is a little drilling tag I made the other night, my video a couple of videos ago, where I was making tags. I made an Edith Holden tag, and I made a couple of these little journaling cards from book pages too. Everything in here, I don't think there's anything digital in here, so everything's from books and original, authentic, everything. Whatever it is, it's original. So I put the little words here, say "in my dreams," and I said in the video the other night, it's backed with a file folder, and that's coffee dyed file folder. So I said the other night, it was like this little cricket was dreaming about dragonflies, right? And that's just paper clipped right here, so you can move it wherever you want. There's quite a few pages in here, as you can see. I think I put about 18 or 20, so just say there's 18. If you count, that's 18 papers. So once you fold them in half, then you have 36. Then you count both sides, and that's about what? 30, 60, 72. So 72 pages in this little chunky guy here, or girl. So the next page here is a coffee dyed paper. And, let's tell you about the back side here. The back side of this Astrobrites paper has a little, this is also from the nature book. I think this was some type of mushroom or fungi from that same area of the book where I was cutting I love the mushrooms, so I was cutting, so the first thing I cut out was the mushrooms and the birds, right? So, and here's a little tag I made, I think I showed you the other night when I was working on something else with this journal. Oh, it was my Tag Tuesday. I was showing you all the tags I had already made. And this is an airline ticket from 1987, I think it was. And, No, it says 06 right there. Maybe it's 06. Anyway, whatever it is, it's really cool. And so I made it into a tag and just added some fabric and a little postage stamp there. You can see some lace topper, and it's sewed around zigzag stitch where I added some brown. This is very thick brown envelope. Not not your regular brown envelope, but this is a thicker brown envelope, almost like a file folder thickness. And I really like the brown color on the back of this too. And so on the next page here is another tag. I believe I got this one in Happy Mail, and it was really beautiful. It's got this book page in the back with some napkin here, and it's sewn around. You can see the different straight and zigzag stitching alternating all the way around. And I added this little flower on the top, and it's got brown paper on the back for writing. And then it's got a little heart paper clip here, right here. And this is a little, this is some washi tape that I put on here. I have some washi tape, and it's got like advertisements on it. And so it's got sections. So I cut off this section. It was one advertisement. I thought that was really, that washi tape is really cool. So you can use a strip of it, or you can use little sections like that. This is from a garden book, I believe, or maybe this is an address book. Added a little flower here, but just a little, you know, it has lines on it. Just a cool piece of vintage paper. Some music that is, I think I coffee dyed this. I've got a little from that same book, the nature book. I think this is from that book. Yeah, I believe. Trying to feel it. I think it is from that book. A little squirrel. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's what it's from. Now I'm recognizing it. Yes, a little squirrel from that book, that nature book. Coffee dyed paper here with a pocket. Oh, this is Braille paper. I almost didn't see the little, you know, the dots or whatever. But maybe you can see it in the camera. You can probably see it better. This is the side where they stick up, and this is the side where they go. Well, they stick up on this side too, don't they? But anyway, the little Braille dots there, and I made a pocket down here. And I have a little cluster right here in the corner, made with several layers, a little bit of sequins fabric or trim in there. And that was made during Crafty Clusters with Susan, Susan Hiles Art. And so here's a little journaling card. Oh, this is printed. Yeah, I've looked through my ephemera and I found this little card. So this is a journaling card that is printed. This is Shabby Dabby Doodah, one of Tina's kits. This is a little, I was talking about this the other night too, a little bit dart rules from vintage dart rules instructions here. And it is, I've got a mushroom here that I decorated with, and I just made it into like a little journaling spot and added this paper, like typing paper, erasable typing paper, I think is what it actually is, on the back for writing. Here's a little page here, this brown or craft colored paper, which we all love, I think, with lines on this side, no lines. This is some more of that, kind of like, I don't know if it's the same paper as that, but that erasable typing paper. It's kind of see-through. It's really nice feeling and nice, just really nice paper. And this is coffee dyed ledger with a pocket over here. This is a little vintage piece of ephemera here. It's got some, you know, actually I think it's in French or something. Oh, I might have got this from In My Postal Love. I think I did. And this is a little clue card that I turned into a journaling card. Just added some, I think this is coffee dye paper on the back, and sewed around it, you know, I glued it on, but then I sewed around it too, and then added this little ribbon at the top. And then some, I think I tried to use a lot of my coffee dyed papers in here, a lot of my different, you know, not just plain, but a lot of the different types that I make. So like the Braille, and this is, you know, the ledger, and this is coffee dyed to like primary or kids writing paper. Coffee dyed that. This is a really thick one though that I had found at the thrift store. Really, really thick, that type of paper. Usually that paper is pretty thin, but this is a really like normal feeling, like even thicker than copy paper. Here's a little flip up here with a cutout, fussy cut flower from wallpaper, vintage wallpaper, and that's coffee dyed paper. This is some random piece of paper that I brought home from the thrift store probably, or I could have got it in Happy Mail, I'm not sure. But it's very cool, and I added some tickets, vintage tickets, and a little postage stamp right there as a decoration on that. And it's got plenty of writing room. There's plenty of writing room for whatever you might want to write in here the story of your life, or just a list or ideas, whatever, you know, write all about your travels. So this is a composition book paper here that has been copy dyed. It's a flip out page. One of these pretty little paper bags. And so in here I was really going through my ephemera that I've already made too, trying to, because this is pretty much eclectic, so I wanted to include a lot of my like eclectic type ephemera. This is this was from a vintage newspaper. Does it have an expiration? Yeah, I think it does. I think it says 86. Not sure, but anyway, it is a vintage advertisement from an old newspaper that I had a while ago. This is just a little journaling card with some layers and, you know, layering. I had made this one time on one of my videos where I had picked up these envelopes from, I think, craftsbuyer.com and just decorated with mushrooms. It says, especially for you. There's a number there, and just my idea was you can hide something in here, or you could write in here. And I added, at the time, I think I did this when I made these, I added this little frog stamp as a little like surprise. When you get into the envelope, you have a little frog to greet you there. More nature. This is also, besides eclectic and vintage, it has of course a nature theme, this journal. Here's a tab here. This is a whale tail punch. That's from Maria. And this is the center here where I put one of the pages from the nature book. Like I said, sticking with nature here. And I have these pretty deer here in the middle. And it tells all about them right here. And there's some more over here. That's a moose. And then here's a Wapiti, Wapiti. I don't know where they live, but, or what, if they live in the United States, or mountain meadows, it says. Maybe it's a type of moose. I'm not sure. But there you go. And then so here's the next page. So that was the center. And then here on, I used green and white baker's twine to bind this with a 5 pamphlet stitch. Here, so the second half, back half, we have a little picture held on this page with a paper clip. And this is, I picked out this one because these, it looks like, really and truly, it looks like do I see any men in there? I think I do see a man. So it's men and women sitting in I don't know, maybe it's a park or something, but it's sticking with the nature theme. They're sitting in a park doing something, I don't know what, but there you go. That's my nature photo. And I added this little piece of lace. I thought it was so cute. I think I got that idea recently. I saw Dale from Not Too Shabby Chic do that to a bunch. I think she's the one that did it to a bunch of her photos. And I thought it was so cute. And if you're not the one, Dale, if somebody else did it, let me know in the comments. And but yeah, I recently saw somebody do that, and I thought it was so cute. How did I have that like this? Yeah, I thought it was so cute just to add that little piece of lace on the corner of your photo. So I thought I would try it. I don't know how I had that in here now. Oh, I know. I put it like this. I put it like this because it looks like a tab from the outside of the journal. See how it sticks out over the side there, and kind of looks, see, there's one tab, and then there's that little piece of lace, so it kind of looks like a tab, I thought. So here's the back half of that paper bag, which I also opened up. And in here, this is another Shabby Dabby Doodah tag or journaling card, and this is also a journaling card made from an advertisement from oh, that's from the newspaper too. Yep. Doesn't have a date on there, but it has a phone number without an area code. And yeah, pretty cool. And there's the back of that. Yeah, that's what I like to do with old advertisements a lot of times, just make tags and journaling cards if it's not going to be a page in a journal. So here's the other side of that flip out. It's a flip out on this side too. And here is another flip out of, oh, that's that random paper. I said I don't know what it is, but it's really cool. So on this side I decorated with a ticket. You can read whoever guesses can read about what's on the ticket and how old it is and things like that. And here's a little butterfly punch out down here. This is just a little gift tag that you can have some little private writing space there. That children's paper. Here's a postcard which also had to do with the nature theme. Had some mountains and a lake there. And I added a little trim there at the top for decoration or tab. And that's a vintage postcard. Same type of papers here. This is the Braille pocket, or Braille page with a pocket. On this side I have the clue, you know, the clue card or playing card I put on the other side. This is the clue envelope that I found those the same day, I think. And I found a clue envelope and a playing card in at the thrift store. So that envelope is there for you to have fun with. And another, this is a nature, it says wildlife, something about wildlife here. It has, you know, bear, looks like a moose and an eagle. And I backed that also with some brown paper and sewed around it with this little piece of fabric at the top for, you know, to make that into a writing space and a tag. On this coffee dye music paper, and this also has Rit dye on it. That's why it has that pink. That's what the pink is from, Rit dye. Some burgundy Rit dye I had. And then on this page I have clipped. I had this wrapped around it. This is just a random piece of old paper. I think I received that from Jovi in Happy Mail. Creating with Jovi. And so check out all their channels. Creating with Jovi. Not Too Shabby Chic, Maria Miscellany, whoever else I mentioned. And here's a library card. This is an authentic original library card that I just added this 1987 there and added this piece of a doily on the top. Sewed across and added a little cluster down here with some, like a scrap of a doily and, or some lace or something in this little flower. And I added a button there, vintage button. So that's there to write on and have fun with. So here's the Edith Holden tag I made the other night with that pretty lavender, looks like a lily or something, but very pretty. And it says in the garden, sewn around with some, this is a very old piece of quilt fabric, and it's the coffee dyed file folder that I backed that with. And let's see, I think it looks like I have something clipped. Oh, I have a tab on this too, another whale tail tab from Maria. So that was clipped on this side. Kind of clipped that kind of high, didn't I? Let me move it down there. And then on the other side, oh, this is another page from the Cricket book. It says the story. And it's a little cricket there with his friend, helping his friend. Looks like across the water, a little mosquito friend. So cute. Love that book. And so this is the last page here with a pocket, some more mushrooms. Right here, little mushrooms from that book. And in here, another type of library card where it was just a solid card like this with dates stamped on it. And that was all over the back, like all over, up and down the back. So I wanted to have some more writing space here, so I covered it with file folder. It's distressed, and I have a little piece of like scrap of wallpaper that I used for the tab there at the top of that. And then, of course, some mushrooms there. I love those mushrooms. I've cut a bunch out and I have them set aside to put into journals now. So a little whale tail punch on here. This is a little kind of, I think it was called a transaction receipt. I think I got this from Jovi too. And I just really like just old random stuff like this. Added a little Tim Holtz girl, and she's backed with file folder there for writing space. And then here's the back where I added some more of the fussy cut flowers from wallpaper, vintage wallpaper. And this pocket in the back, you know, that is part of the envelope. I have this tag here that I received in Happy Mail. So pretty with this fabric ruffle here and a couple of little metal pieces. And here's a little piece of fabric here. And then you can write on the back, of course. Like you can write on this whole thing if you want to. And then you can write inside. Isn't that pretty? Yeah, I just slip that right in there. And it like sits so nice in this this pocket that the little trim just kind of adds a little, you know, decoration to the pocket there. So that is the journal, and how I've been closing it. You can see I did this on purpose. I explained it the other night when I was working on the tags. I left this piece here. It's got the eyelet, so that's added extra strength for, you know, pulling on this. And then so you just take this and you can wrap it front or back. I kind of like wrapping around the back and then tying because it ends up right here on the side pretty much if you want it to. Or if you want to wrap it the other way, the bow will end up more in the back if you want it that way. So it's just, I never did that before. And I was just trying to, you know, kind of think of a way where I can just have the whole tie closure attached to the back. for something different. So that's what I did with this. And then I have a goodie bag here made with a little green paper bag to match the nature theme here. And I went through, I didn't have any scraps really. I kind of used up all my scraps from that in the journal and things like that. So no scraps in here to speak of, but I did go through my, stash here of goodies. I've got an index card here, one of the ones with a tab, yellow tab there. I pulled out a couple of little note papers to put in there. And let's see, these are some things that I haven't been using that I need to. They're like cards, like kind of like index cards, and they're on this track that used to go through some type of machine, I guess, some kind of computerized thing that fed it through and printed on these. I think they're really cool. It's perforated right here, but I left these two together so you could keep them together or take them apart. But a couple of those are definitely vintage. A couple of tags that I've, whenever, a lot of times with scraps, I'll just take my paper punch and punch out these tags. So there's a couple of those pretty tags. This has some like cursive writing on it. I'm not sure what that's from, but I think it's pretty cool looking. Let's see what else. Let me turn it upside down so I can go bottom to top here and stack things back up. So this is just, I had a planner once that I had brought home from the thrift store, and it had on each page, it had all these little squares like this size and smaller ones where you write and make all your planning. Anyway, I went through that book and cut out all those little squares. So this is what that is from that. I just thought it was cute to glue down on a piece of paper for extra, adding some writing space. Again, I have a paper punch for all these little shapes, tag shapes here. So this is just was a scrap that I cut out and rounded the corners to make a writing space. And I have a bunch of these. Let's see, did I put any more in here? Yeah, here's another one. Yeah, there's probably a few of these because I need to use these. I haven't been using them. And see, that's a scrap that I rounded the corners. It's fun just if you want to use your scraps up, just make little squares, rectangles, and things like that you can use in your journals. That's an index card that's been cut up. This is the tags that I punched from my other smaller tag punch. Here, this is another punch that I have, and this is cute to add as a writing space, this little shape here with the lines. That was from an index card. I make my own Rolodex cards a lot of times, so that's one of my handmade Rolodex cards. And I can make them different shapes. I have this punch, so I make them, whatever size I want. Big, little, medium, in between. So those are a couple of those. Probably made from my scraps too. And this is some coffee dye tickets. And this is just an envelope. There's nothing inside, but it opens like you just untie the baker's twine. And the baker's twine is not attached, I don't think. Yeah, it's just there to keep the envelope. Well, it's not really an envelope. It unfolds both ways, but it can be an envelope if you glue the sides together. But it's actually made from that envelope that I was talking about that I backed some of the ephemera with. That brown, thick brown envelope that's like a file folder. So that's what that is. So there's lots of writing space. It's blank inside. And this is a little envelope. I like to make these envelopes also out of my scraps. A little envelope, and it has some of my punched out butterflies in there. There's quite a few. You'd be surprised. There's probably about 5 or 6 in there. So yeah, you can put quite a few of those because they're so small. And then I went through and looked for maybe a piece of fabric in my scrap fabrics that would maybe match this journal. I found this pretty little piece here, so that is also in there. It's amazing what you can, how many pieces you can get in one of these little bags, right? So that's just a fun little goodie bag to go along with this journal. When you see this, it will be in my shop. Hope you enjoyed. I didn't really do this on video because it was kind of just, I was cleaning up my craft room and just said I need to make a journal out of this. And I did it, so I hope you enjoyed this, maybe gave you some ideas. And I will see you all in my next video. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you tomorrow in 2022. Happy New Year, and happy crafting.